You're gonna lose. That's not a threat, it's a truth. A brutal, unavoidable, and necessary truth. You will lose people, opportunities, battles you swore you'd win. You'll lose time, confidence, direction, even parts of yourself. And no one prepares you for it. No one teaches you how to lose with strength, how to bleed without breaking, how to watch your plans collapse and still stand tall. Everyone talks about winning. Everyone celebrates success. But what happens when the silence hits? When the door slams shut, when you're left with nothing but your breath and the weight of what didn't go your way? There's an art to losing, one that most people will never learn because they're too busy pretending it doesn't happen. They're too proud to admit they've fallen, too afraid to look at the mess and say, this is where I am, and I'm still going to rise. But here's the thing, if you never learn how to lose, you'll never understand the kind of power that's born in the aftermath. You'll never feel the quiet fire that begins to burn the moment you hit rock bottom and realize you're still alive, still capable, still dangerous. Some of the strongest people you'll ever meet don't carry trophies. They carry stories. Stories of what they've lost, what they've survived, and how they refuse to let any of it define them. Because losing doesn't destroy you. Denial does. Avoidance does. Shame does. But if you face your losses head on, if you lean into the sting instead of running from it, something incredible happens. You change. You stop chasing validation. You stop playing small. You start showing up real, and the world can't handle someone who's no longer afraid to lose. So if you're in that space right now, confused, hurting, wondering how everything unraveled, this is for you. You're not broken. You're being remade. And today we're not here to hide the losses. We're here to master them. This is not just about bouncing back. It's about bouncing forward, stronger, sharper, and unapologetically real. Let's begin. Most people believe that losing is a sign of weakness. They treat it like a scarlet letter, a mark of failure, something to hide, something to be ashamed of. But what if losing is not a breakdown? What if it's a breakthrough? What if it's not the end, but the beginning of the most powerful, unshakable, and evolved version of you? Here's the truth. Most won't tell you, you don't grow in the victory lap. You grow in the dark rooms. After the fall, when you're sitting alone with nothing but your thoughts and the sting of defeat in your chest. That's where character is built. That's where clarity is forged. That's where the real transformation begins. Because when you lose, all the illusions fall away. The noise quiets. The distractions disappear. And what you're left with is raw reality. And that's exactly where the shift happens. See, there's something about loss that exposes who you truly are. When things are good, when you're winning, when you're admired, when life is smooth, everyone plays nice. But when you lose, that's when the masks come off. That's when your real values, your real mindset, your real resilience is revealed. And it's not just about what's taken from you. It's about what's revealed inside you. Sometimes the only way to find your strength is to lose what you thought you couldn't live without. People fear losing because they think it defines them. They think, if I lose this job, this relationship, this chance, then I am nothing. That's the lie. You are not your achievements. You are not your reputation. You are not your status, your followers, your paycheck, or your connections. You are who you are when everything is stripped away and you still choose to rise. That's where your worth lives. Not in what you win, but in how you respond when you lose. Think about it. Every person who has ever done something great has lost something first. Athletes who were told they weren't good enough, entrepreneurs who went bankrupt before they built empires, artists who were rejected hundreds of times before one yes changed their lives. That space between rejection and recognition, that's the breakthrough zone. And most people never reach it because the pain of losing scares them more than the possibility of growing. But if you lean into it, if you stop running from the loss, and start asking, what is this here to teach me? You step into power most people never tap into. You stop seeing failure as humiliation and start seeing it as education. You stop avoiding the storm and start walking into it with your head high, knowing that every loss is shaping something unstoppable within you. Losing humbles you, and that's a good thing. It strips away ego. It forces you to reevaluate not just what you want, but why you want it. It clears out what's not serving you. And that process, that burning, painful, uncomfortable space between the fall and the rise, that's your breakthrough. That's where your next level is born. That's where the version of you that doesn't care about applause, approval, or acceptance is formed. The version that moves with quiet confidence and refuses to quit just because it didn't work out the first, second, or 10th time. So many people give up after a loss, not because they can't go on, but because they were never taught how to lose with strength. No one told them it's okay to be disappointed, but it's not okay to stay stuck there. No one told them that losing doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're being refined. They internalize the loss. They wear it like it's their identity. I failed, so I must be a failure. But losing is an event. It's not who you are. It's what happened. And what you do next is what defines you. If you're in a season of loss right now, stop punishing yourself. Stop reliving the moment it all fell apart. That moment is gone. What matters is what you're building in the ashes. You can either let the loss bury you or let it build you. You can either sit in the wreckage or start laying new bricks. And it won't be easy. Rebuilding never is. But the foundation you build after loss is stronger than the one you had before. Because now, now you're wiser, sharper, tougher. You've been through the fire and you didn't evaporate. You endured. You might not feel strong right now. That's okay. You might feel lost, confused, numb. That's okay too. But don't mistake this for the end. Don't mistake this for destruction. You are not broken. You are in the middle of a breakthrough. And when you come out of this, because you won't just be back. You'll be different. You'll be dangerous. You'll be unshakable. Because once you learn how to lose with power, nothing can control you anymore. This is the art of losing, embracing the pain, facing the truth, and using the fall as fuel. Most people will never master it because it takes guts to stand in the wreckage and say, this isn't over. But you're not most people. You're here, listening, ready, and that tells me everything I need to know. You're not breaking down, you're breaking through. Keep going. We live in a world obsessed with results, wins, trophies, likes, applause, outcomes. From the moment you're young, you're conditioned to chase the reward, the grade, the job, the house, the validation. And when you don't get it, when you fall short, you feel worthless, defeated, like you failed, not just at the goal, but as a person. That mindset is a trap, and it will rob you of your power every single time. Because as long as you attach your worth to outcomes, you'll always be a slave to results you can't fully control. The truth is, outcomes lie. They're loud, seductive, and often misleading. You could do everything right and still lose. You could put in all the work, show up with full integrity, be disciplined, focused, locked in, and still not get what you were after. And when that happens, if your identity is wrapped around that one outcome, it feels like your entire foundation collapses. That's why the goal is never just the win. The real goal, the one that lasts, is mastery. Mastery doesn't chase applause. Mastery doesn't depend on external approval. Mastery is a quiet, unglamorous, relentless commitment to getting better every single day, no matter who's watching, no matter how long it takes, and no matter how many times you fall. When you attach yourself to mastery, not outcome, you become dangerous. Because now you're not waiting to be validated. You're not desperate for a quick win. You're playing a different game, a deeper game, one that's built to last. Attaching yourself to mastery means you show up because it's who you are, not because someone might clap for you. It means you focus on the process, the repetitions, the failures, the slow growth. You stop asking, did I win yet? And start asking, did I improve today? You begin to value the internal shift over the external success. And ironically, that's when the real wins come, because consistency beats talent, grit beats hype, and purpose beats pressure every time. When you detach from outcomes, you stop needing everything to go perfectly. You stop falling apart when something doesn't land the way you hoped. Because now it's not about proving something to anyone else, it's about becoming someone you respect. That shift in mindset changes everything. You no longer chase, you build, you no longer beg, you create, You no longer rush, you refine. Let's get this clear. Outcomes are out of your control. You can't control how someone responds. You can't control market trends. You can't control who gets promoted, who gets chosen, who says yes or no. But you can control how you prepare. You can control how you respond. You can control how you evolve. And that's where your power lives, in the process, not the prize. Attaching to outcomes makes your confidence fragile. You win, you feel good, you lose, you fall apart. That's emotional volatility, that's instability. But when you attach to mastery, you find peace in the chaos. You stay steady in storms because your confidence is built on something real. Your work, your growth, your effort, not someone else's opinion, not one moment's success or failure. Just you showing up, getting sharper, getting better, getting stronger. It takes maturity to play this long game. It takes courage to walk away from needing instant results, because mastery doesn't come with a finish line. You don't wake up one day and say, I made it. You keep going. You keep growing. And that can be hard, especially when you're surrounded by people flashing quick wins, shortcuts, highlight reels. But understand this, most of them won't last, because their identity is built on things they can't hold on to. Yours is built on something they can't take from you. Your discipline, your skill, your mindset. And when you focus on mastery, setbacks don't derail you. They refine you. You look at a loss and say, what can I learn from this? You take feedback seriously, not personally. You stop seeing mistakes as failures and start seeing them as instruction. That's a completely different way to live. That's power, that's freedom, that's emotional resilience. Let's say you're building something, a business, a skill, a life. If all you care about is the result, you'll burn out fast. The journey will feel like a burden. But if you fall in love with the craft, the daily grind, the small wins, then even the hard days have value. Even the silent seasons have purpose. Because you're not just building something for show, you're building something real. And that kind of work, that kind of mindset, it compounds, quietly, powerfully. Over time, detaching from outcomes also makes you more bold. You stop playing safe, you stop making decisions out of fear of failure, because failure no longer defines you. It teaches you, it fuels you, and that's what makes you unstoppable. Most people don't even try because they're afraid they might lose. But when you've trained your mind to care more about growth than glory, you move differently. You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start asking, what if I become someone I'm proud of, no matter what? You will lose, you will fail, you will get rejected. That's life. But if you're committed to mastery, those moments don't shake you. They shape you. And when your foundation is built on growth, no loss can break you, because you're not here for approval, you're here for evolution. So choose mastery every single time. Choose the path that takes longer, but builds deeper. Let the world chase outcomes. Let them burn out trying to prove something. You just keep building, keep refining, keep rising. Because in the end, mastery always wins. Even when the scoreboard says you didn't, every loss you experience carries a message. But most people never hear it. Not because the message isn't there, but because they're too focused on the pain, the anger, the disappointment. They're too consumed with the why me and the blame game to actually pause and ask, what is this trying to teach me? And that's the real tragedy. Because if you never learn how to listen to your losses, you'll keep repeating them again and again. Different faces, different circumstances, same lesson, knocking on the same door. Loss is never just an accident. It's never random. Whether it's a failed relationship, a missed opportunity, a business that didn't take off, or a personal breakdown, there's something in it for you. A message, a warning, a mirror, something that was always there beneath the surface, but took the loss to finally bring it to light. But to hear that message, you have to get quiet. You have to stop running. You have to stop numbing yourself with distractions and start sitting in the silence long enough to feel and reflect. The truth is, most people are afraid of self-reflection because it forces accountability. It forces you to see where you allowed something that hurt you. It forces you to acknowledge where you ignored the red flags, where you chose comfort over courage, where you silenced your instincts to keep the peace. Loss brings those things to the surface, not to punish you, but to protect your future. The message is in the patterns. The message is in your reaction. The message is in the uncomfortable questions you don't want to ask, but must. Sometimes a loss teaches you that you were too dependent on someone else for your self-worth. Sometimes it shows you that you weren't prepared and now you know where to sharpen. Sometimes it teaches you to set better boundaries, to speak up sooner, to walk away faster, to believe in yourself more deeply. But you only gain that insight when you're brave enough to face the truth behind the loss. Think of a loss like a fire alarm. It's loud, it's disruptive. It breaks the rhythm of your life, but it's not there to ruin you. It's there to wake you up. Something needed your attention, something was off, and instead of ignoring it, now you're being forced to deal with it. That's not weakness, that's wisdom in disguise. The earlier you listen, the less damage is done. But if you keep ignoring the message, the cost gets higher. The lessons get louder. Sometimes the message is this: slow down. You're moving too fast, chasing too hard, forcing things that aren't aligned, or maybe it's telling you to let go of the version of yourself that was willing to settle. Maybe it's showing you that not everyone around you has the capacity to walk your path. Not everyone is meant to go with you, and that's okay. Loss has a way of cleaning house, of removing what you didn't have the courage to release on your own. You can only grow when you're honest with yourself, and losses demand that honesty. They strip away the stories you told yourself to stay comfortable. They remove the illusion. And yes, it hurts. Growth always hurts before it heals. But once you face the lesson, once you name it, you free yourself. You no longer have to carry the weight of confusion, bitterness, or regret. You turn the pain into purpose. You turn the failure into a foundation. You stop reacting and start responding with intention. If you want to transform your life, start studying your losses. Look back, not with guilt, but with curiosity. What pattern do you see? What role did you play? What lesson did you ignore the first time, the second time, the fifth time? Because every unlearned lesson becomes a cycle, and cycles don't break because you're tired. They break because you finally understand the message. A failed relationship might be telling you to stop confusing love with attachment. A missed opportunity might be telling you to prepare more, to sharpen your craft. A betrayal might be showing you where you gave trust that wasn't earned. A breakdown might be forcing you to stop performing for the world and start honoring your truth. But you can only access that wisdom if you're willing to go beyond the surface emotion. Get still, get clear, and listen. There's no wasted pain when you learn from it. The worst thing you can do is go through something heavy and come out unchanged. Because now you've suffered and stayed stuck. Don't let that be your story. Your pain can be your teacher. Your loss can be your leverage. But only if you're willing to listen with humility. Not ego, with curiosity. Not defensiveness, with purpose, not pity. Sometimes the message isn't deep. Sometimes it's simple. Not everyone's for you. Not every path is yours. Not every no is rejection. It's redirection. Sometimes the loss is just life making space. Clearing the way for something that requires more of you. Something you can't step into if you're still clinging to what didn't work. The loss wasn't a punishment. It was preparation. You are not weak because you've lost. You are wise if you learn, and you are powerful when you use the lesson as fuel. Let the loss speak. Let it say what it came to say. And then use that knowledge not to build a wall around your heart, but to move smarter, speak clearer, love liever, and live more aligned. Because when you start listening to your losses, you stop repeating them. And that right there is how transformation begins. Pain has a way of waking you up in a way comfort never will. When you get hurt, when life hits you in a way you didn't expect, everything sharpens, everything slows down. You start noticing things. The tone in someone's voice, the energy in a room, the lies you used to let slide. That's not weakness, that's clarity. Pain forces you to see what you ignored, to feel what you buried. And once you stop fighting it, once you stop numbing it and start leaning into it, that pain becomes a weapon, a tool, a lens, something that doesn't just hurt you but haunts you. Most people don't know what to do with pain. They avoid it, distract from it, deny it. They want it gone fast. And in doing that, they miss the goal. Because pain, if you let it, will teach you everything. It will show you what matters, who matters, what needs to go, what needs to grow. It will reveal the weak spots in your thinking, in your relationships, in your habits. And it doesn't whisper, it roars. But when you start paying attention, when you stop being afraid of the sting, that pain turns into precision. Precision is power, and it's not born in ease. It's born in the storm. When you've been hurt, betrayed, rejected, broken, it cuts deep. But if you don't let it define you, if you don't let it harden you, it starts to carve something stronger inside of you. You begin to move differently. You speak more deliberately. You trust yourself more. You make decisions with a level of self-respect that only comes from surviving what was meant to shatter you. Pain is a filter. It filters out the noise, the fake, the distractions. When you're in pain, you don't have the energy to pretend. You stop saying yes to things that drain you. You stop wasting time on people who don't pour into you. You stop chasing things that don't align with who you are becoming. That's precision. That's living with intention, not impulse. And most people never get there because they run from the very thing that could make them powerful. Turning pain into precision means you don't just feel it, you study it. You ask, where is this coming from? What is this showing me? What behavior, what pattern, what wound is this tied to? You stop blaming everyone else and start owning your part. That's where the real shift happens. Not in the anger, not in the tears, but in the moment you stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what is this here to teach me? You begin to realize that the people who hurt you, they were mirrors. They showed you where you still needed healing. The opportunities you lost, they were redirections. They pushed you back to alignment. The times you were ignored, overlooked, underestimated, they taught you to stop looking outward for validation and start standing firm in your own voice. Every pain has a message. Every scar has a story. And when you stop hiding them, when you start honoring them, they sharpen you. There's a shift that happens when pain no longer weakens you, but sharpens your vision. You stop engaging in meaningless drama. You stop tolerating mediocrity. You stop negotiating your worth. You stop seeking permission to be yourself. You become precise with your time, your energy, your presence. You don't move emotionally. You move intelligently, strategically, purposefully. That's the kind of strength pain gives you when you use it right. But precision doesn't mean coldness. It doesn't mean walls or bitterness. It means clarity. It means choosing your peace over your pride, your purpose over petty fights. It means protecting your space like it's sacred, because it is. When you've been through enough, when you've healed enough, when you've reflected enough, you stop reacting. You start responding with wisdom, with calm, with direction. And that's not weakness. That's emotional maturity. Turning pain into precision is how you regain control. It's how you stop being tossed around by what happens to you and start leading yourself through it. You stop looking for comfort and you start building character. You don't need life to be easy. You need to be equipped. You need to know who you are when everything falls apart, and you still choose to rise with dignity. Let the pain sharpen you. Let it clean your lens. Let it show you who's real, what's worth it, and who you are when nothing is handed to you. Let it push you to grow. Let it teach you boundaries. Let it burn away your people-pleasing, your excuses, your fears. Let it turn you into someone who doesn't just survive storms, but learns to navigate them with precision and grace. The next time pain shows up, don't rush to silence it. Sit with it. Listen to it. Learn from it. And then use it. Turn it into fuel. Turn it into focus. Turn it into power. Because the pain that once made you feel broken can become the very thing that makes you unstoppable. If you're willing to look deeper and move smarter, you didn't go through all that to stay soft and scattered. You went through it to gain edge, direction, discernment, precision. And once you have that, you won't waste your life chasing what doesn't matter. You'll know exactly who you are, exactly what you want, and exactly how to get it. There comes a point where holding on does more damage than letting go. But letting go isn't always about weakness. In fact, it's one of the strongest things you'll ever do, because letting go with grace means you've stopped needing closure, you've stopped waiting for apologies, you've stopped justifying why something no longer fits. It means you've come to peace with the fact that not everything and not everyone is meant to stay. And more importantly, you've accepted that you don't need permission to move on. You don't need validation to rebuild. You only need your own courage. The truth is, most people struggle with letting go, not because they don't know it's necessary, but because they're emotionally tangled in the idea of what could have been. They hold on to the hope that maybe it'll change. Maybe the person will wake up. Maybe the opportunity will come back. Maybe the moment will make sense later. But the longer you stay stuck in the maybe, the more you delay your healing, the more you lose pieces of yourself in something that no longer serves you. And deep down, you know this. You feel it, that subtle drain in your energy, that quiet tension in your body, that voice inside whispering, it's time. Letting go with grace means you don't have to announce it to the world. You don't have to make a dramatic exit or seek sympathy. You just decide. You decide that your peace matters more than their attention, that your future matters more than their excuses, that your growth is more important than clinging to something that no longer aligns with who you're becoming. Grace means you walk away clean, not bitter, not broken, but clear, strong, certain, and that's powerful. Because grace is not passivity, it's power under control. It's saying, I could stay and fight, but I won't. I could argue and explain, but I don't need to. I could try to fix this one more time, but I choose me now. You choose peace over pride, dignity over drama, growth over guilt. And that doesn't make you selfish, it makes you free. Once you let go, the next step is just as bold. Rebuild without permission. Don't wait for someone to say, it's okay to start again. Don't wait for the world to understand your decisions. Don't expect the same people who hurt you to support your healing. They won't, and they don't need to. You're not rebuilding for them, you're rebuilding for you. And that process, that quiet, deliberate, relentless process of putting yourself back together without applause, without recognition, without permission, is the most sacred thing you'll ever do. Rebuilding isn't about revenge. It's not about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you are not defined by what broke you. You are defined by how you rise, how you respond, how you choose to carry yourself in the aftermath. Because people will leave, opportunities will fall through. Life will shift in ways you didn't ask for, but you still get to decide what you do with what's left. You still get to decide who you become in the wreckage. Start small, if you have to. One new habit, one new boundary, one new belief about yourself. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need a steady commitment to move forward. And trust me, the strength you're looking for is not in the people you lost. It's not in the past. You can't change. It's in you, right now. In your willingness to keep going, in your refusal to stay stuck, in your ability to rebuild your life, brick by brick, even if no one else sees it. Letting go also teaches you emotional independence. You stop outsourcing your worth. You stop needing other people to tell you you're enough. You stop waiting for the phone call, the apology, the second chance. You start giving yourself what you once begged others for: respect, consistency, compassion, and that shift, that internal rewrite. That's where your power lives, not in what you lost, but in what you choose next. Sometimes the people you're trying to impress will never clap. Sometimes the people you love the most will be the ones who misunderstand you the most. That's okay. Let them go. Let them misunderstand you. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to become someone you respect when you look in the mirror. That's the only validation that matters. Rebuilding without permission means refusing to shrink. It means taking up space again. It means allowing yourself to want more, dream more, expect more, even if others think you don't deserve it. Even if your past tries to convince you you're not capable. You don't need anyone to agree with your healing to begin it. You just need to believe that you're worth the rebuild. And maybe that rebuild won't look like what you imagined. Maybe it'll be slower, quieter, more internal. But don't let that fool you. The deepest work often happens in the silence. The strongest foundations are laid in solitude. And the most powerful transformations happen when no one is watching. Stay with it. Keep showing up, even on the days it doesn't feel like it's working, because every decision you make in favor of your peace, your strength, your clarity, that's a brick. That's progress. That's healing. You don't need a permission slip to move on. You don't need approval to begin again. And you definitely don't need the people who broke you to understand how you're putting yourself back together. You just need your decision, your discipline, your grace. And once you fully choose that, nothing and no one can stop you. Let go, rebuild, and never apologize for it. Here's the truth. Life will test you. It will take things you thought were permanent. It will shake your foundation, strip your illusions, and leave you standing in the middle of losses you never saw coming. But that doesn't mean you're finished. It means you're being refined. Every loss, every setback, every heartbreak is not the end of your story. It's the forging of a new one. You don't grow in the comfort of winning. You grow in the chaos of losing, in the discipline of rebuilding, in the courage it takes to keep moving forward when everything inside you wants to give up. The art of losing is not about giving in. It's about giving rise. It's about using every fall as fuel, every scar as a symbol, every no as a redirection. It's learning how to move with intention, speak with purpose, and rise with power without needing applause, permission, or perfection. So if you've lost something, don't let it define you. Let it shape you. Let it sharpen you. Let it launch you. You are not here to be rescued. You are here to rise again and again and again. Let go of what no longer serves you. Rebuild without waiting for someone to tell you it's okay. And carry this truth with you. You are stronger than the storm, wiser than the loss, and more capable than the world will ever know. This is not the end. This is where your power begins.